Oh hey, didn't see you there. Actually, I totally did, but I digress. My name's Matt. I usually play games, but I'm currently listening to what the cool kids call lo-fi pop while studying. You see, with school coming, I'm going to have to choose my video topics very carefully since I don't have as much time to talk about random games I've never heard about before. Oh boy, is that a conveniently placed letter on my totally real deaths right there?
Dear Matt, please play game. Is good. Alex.
Well, with a solid opening like that, how can it refuse? I mean, he did send a letter by DeviantArt, so you know this guy's a professional. So jokes aside, I did recently get a message on DeviantArt from a jazz musician named Alex. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name, but I'm really not sure. He made this game called Space Heroes, and he asked me if I could make a video on it. I do want to clarify, this video isn't sponsored in any way possible. I mean, does it look like I'm getting paid for making these videos? So do I think this guy is legit? Kinda. I mean, he did go out of his way to contact me through goddamn DeviantArt because I don't have a professional email, so... Anyways, let's move on to the actual review. Space Heroes is a mobile game that advertises itself as a space roguelike where your ears level up. What the fuck does that mean? Space Heroes trains your ears to recognize music intervals, which for those who don't know, an interval is the difference in pitch between two notes. You play as a member of Area 51B, a location completely different from Area 51A. Don't worry, it's a common misconception. Your goal is to gather resources for your station, and you do that by venturing into the vast space above you. The gameplay loop is all about collecting oop to buy more ships, to go deeper into space, to buy even more oops. I mean, get more oops, god damn it! Aesthetically, the game looks alright. It's pretty obvious that it was inspired by a master of the pixel art, but from what I seem to understand, the art, code, and all the music comes from Alex himself, and that's pretty impressive for one guy, so I'll give him that. The game is pretty simple by itself. You start by picking a level, and then you're thrown in a semi-automatic side-scroller type level thingy. You see that thing in the middle? That's you. Hello! Now, I want you to stop looking at yourself. Now look down here. Oh no! Letters and numbers! Those are the intervals. Once these appears, a sound should play. Your goal is to identify the sound and then classify it as the correct interval. Fuck, damn it, shit. Every time you get an interval right, your ship gets a bit of health back. And that's about all you do. You see, everything is automatic, so you don't really need to do anything except focusing on the intervals. Which is what the game revolves around, so I guess that's alright. Well, that's not right. Actually, Space Heroes is a roguelike, so every run is a bit different. You get items throughout each run that makes your ship slightly better. Although, half of the time I really don't notice it because I'm focusing all of my brain power trying to get the interval right. Let me also mention I suck at this game. You see, I never rely on my ears to do anything. The fuckers are gonna backstab me one day, you just wait. And the game is entirely based on training your ears, so I'm kinda screwed when the game expects me to use the damn things. And that leads me to my next point. Space Heroes is not a game that is meant to be played to pass the time. Well, it isn't its primary goal in my opinion. To me, Space Heroes is an educational game done right. Most educational games I've played in my life are a glorified tutorial for the entire length of the entire quote-unquote game. I feel like my intelligence is being insulted. Now the difference with Space Heroes, it respects your brain power and starts out easy, but lets you have fun while leveling up your ears. Hey, that's a wrap up. All right, guys, let's leave. We're done with this. We're done. I'm leaving this place. I'm not working here. This is not my channel anymore. I'm giving it to Will. He does. Back then, if my music teacher ever gave us something like this to play, I will have lost my mind. And like the game says, you slowly get better as time goes on. So that's a plus. That's a plus in the book. Space Heroes isn't without its flaws. Like I said, the game is great for educational purposes, but it kind of lacks in the gameplay department. Because all of your actions are automatic, not much action is left to the player, and I feel like that's kind of a shame. I believe that making most of the ship's controls manual could really be fun, and would require the player to multitask. For example, when the items are fully charged up, instead of automatically going off, you'd have to click on it to activate it, so you'd be able to keep that weapon until you think the time is right. And if the game's too hard, you could keep the automatic mode, where the game plays itself, just like it currently does. Another issue I have with the game is the lack of tutorial. When the game starts, you're thrown in without any explanation of what to do, which is very overwhelming. It took me around 10 minutes to understand what my goal was for my first time playing. This could easily be solved by adding a little tutorial section when you boot up a new save file. Nothing too big, just something to get the player going. Now, Alex. I can tell you've got passion. You've got heart. But let me tell you, passion ain't gonna pay the bills. It's a rough world out there, kid. So let me give you a few tips. I got a few things here, a few ideas you can make the game to increase your sales, make money. Number 1, add cat girls to the game. Number 2, cat girls. And 7, add even more cat girls. I think I skipped a few numbers, but that should be fine. Hear me, Alex. I like what you've got, but I'd like it even better if you added hot cat girls into the game. Trust me, sales don't lie. You know how many sales Neko Para got? At least over 5 sales. That's about it when it comes to Space Years. It's a fun little indie game that'll teach you how to recognize music intervals with your ears, and it's pretty good at doing that. Alex told me the full game was going to release on the Play Store and on the App Store on the 27th, so go check it out when it'll be out. It might be out when I release the video. It shouldn't be out when this video releases because Alex told me to release this video before the 27th, but I didn't have the time to do it, so it might be out after. Let's just hope it isn't. Anyways, go check it out when you can. It's a fun little idea game if you wanna get it. God. You can download the game for free, but the full game is around $3, which is pretty cheap in my opinion. So it's a good deal. Well, that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.